Hey, this is the shack that Dennis built, and I'm here today to show you how to patch a floor, a wooden floor. I have a hardwood floor that has been scraped up by a dog, and you know, there's a couple ways that you can replace this hardwood floor. One of them is you can cut out a section and replace it. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an epoxy finish on this floor. So I'm using Elmer's Damaged Wood 2-part epoxy, and you know, you got the instructions back here in English that show you how to use this on the floor. You need to clean it, which we're going to do. Make sure it's dry, free from grease, and get rid of all the extra little fuzzy things here. Make sure that it's nice and tight so that when you go to put the epoxy on, it doesn't flake off. So the first thing we're going to do is sweep this thing off. Sweep it off well. I do have a little bit of fuzziness down here that I want to make sure, get that off. Make sure that it's nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do to avoid getting epoxy all over the current floor is I'm going to tape around this damaged area. So I've got this taped all the way around, and you can see that I've done a pretty good job. We're ready to mix the epoxy and put it on there. Now you want to take even portions of the vanilla and the chocolate ice cream. Well, it looks like ice cream anyway. It does look good. I'm kind of hungry for dessert right now, but I wouldn't recommend eating it. And you want to mix it together. You're going to mix these two things together until you get one even consistent look, and then you'll apply it. Good thing about this is you have 1 hour of working time. So let's get mixing. Now what I found is that using gloves and mixing it by hand is probably the easiest way to do it. All right, now I got this glob, one nice even color, and we're going to start to apply it. We're going to put it on there. That's looking good. That'll fill that up nicely. Now what I've done is just wet the edge of my trowel here to run it across the top there, and that'll make it nice and start to smooth it out. Now you can start to see that there's still some gaps in there, so we want to add a little bit more back in there. Make it nice, smooth. Now we wait for it to dry for 24 hours, and then we'll sand it and paint it. I'm back today, and the epoxy is dry, and we're using some sandpaper, 120 grit here. Do an initial sanding. Gonna leave that tape on so that we can sand freely without sanding everything else. Do our best to sand it smooth. All right, I got my first sanding done, and we're going to move to a 400 grit just to make it nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to clean this. Make sure it's clean. And Then we have the same paint that we put it down with. We're gonna go ahead and leave the tape on there, and we're just gonna paint that thing. Same color. And now we're putting on the clear coat. Put a couple of coats on there, kind of help it to match. Got one clear coat on there, and we'll put another one on later. And that is the final product. I can't even tell where exactly I patched. Hey, this is the shack that Dennis built, and this is the floor that I patched in the house that Dennis built. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.